We'll be talking a lot about something that is like crazy, y'all. It's crazy because, in essence, we'll be talking about how feminism stole your man. Feminism stole your man. And when you see the layers of it, it's like, it's crazy. And we'll be unpacking this over a course of time because, excuse me, a couple of things are going to happen. It's going to be some of y'all ladies, you're going to be so heated with me when I point out some things to you, which your man wish he could talk to you about, but he can't. I can't tell you how many times I hear from men who stumble across my content somewhere on the internet and say, want my wife to hear what you're saying, but I don't even know how to approach her about it, so I'm gonna just leave it alone. They wish their wives would hear some of these insights. And y'all, the things I'm talking about apply to me. They apply to me. Most of the time, I'm talking to myself while I'm also delivering this message that I know is going to piss you off. But feminism stole your man. And so for me, the journey really began as a young, teenage girl. I would listen to my parents' conversations. My mother was the president of a union for federal employees, and they would have conferences. And she came back after, a large weekend conference in Vegas, and she was really upset about the feminists and their aggression. And, the way my mom put it, their manliness. And so as a teenager, I grew up with the idea or the foundation that feminism, or no. Yeah, feminism was off. So it was always something that, I kind of watched from a distance and never really embraced or got involved with, because I had a foundation as a young woman that something was manly about a feminist. Well, fast forward to today, and although I considered myself to be, I'm just a woman. I'm a woman and I embrace femininity, so when we're talking about definitions, there's femininity and there's feminism. They're not the same. Femininity is something that I don't think we've ever really gotten a definition, a universal definition of femininity. For millennia, femininity as a definition and as a social construct has been corrupted to limit women to certain types of domestic roles and functions. And, we'll call it barefoot and pregnant. And when you are dealing with a generation of women who have voting rights, who have access to training and education, who are competing in spaces that are formerly male dominated, like myself, the law and the practice of law is a male dominated profession. It still is to a great degree. Then we have rejected the former definition of femininity being barefoot and pregnant. That's not what it is. That's not where it's at. But it goes a lot deeper. And for me, what I realized is that although I generally rejected ever really wanting to be associated with feminism or what would be a social movement to undo the wrongs of men subjecting women as though we're lower status of creature. You know, that from a fundamental standpoint is noble, but in order to gain my value in society does not require me to compete with a man. And I think that's where we got off somewhere, the competition with men. I'm not trying to compete with a man. The security guard at our office, he said something interesting to me the other day. He said, you don't see women out there on construction sites working 8 to 10 hours in the sun. And maybe you might have a handful. I mean, look, we have a lot of women now driving tractor trailers and you know, in the armed forces. Like, I mean, I'm not here to give any commentary on anyone's career choice. I'm not. What I'm speaking to is the mindset where we feel that we have to, number one, compete with men, and number two, we have to dominate them. And this is the subtlety of how feminism stole your man. Feminism stole your man when it set you up with a mindset to compete with him and to dominate him. And we'll be unpacking that. Because whether you realize it or not, if you are not consciously opposing those two mindsets, they are very much a part of our social conditioning, our social programming, our social construct. Even if you, like me, never considered yourself a feminist, when you stop and you take an honest assessment, have you in any way been competing with your man? And competing with your man could be very subtle. It could be insisting on you have the last word because you want to make sure that you're dominating the conversation. Something as simple as you having the last word. Wow. Do you have to have the last word? And even when it comes to that, femininity is understanding my lane and my power in such a way that I am not threatened by yielding to his God-given authority. I'm going to say that again. Femininity is the status of knowing and recognizing my power in such a way that I am not threatened by yielding my power to his God-given authority. Look, I'm not here to make friends on this message. I'm here to help. I'm here to help those of you who have been beating your head against the wall, trying to figure out what is this power struggle between me and my man. And the simple answer is that feminism stole your man. And as we continue to have this conversation, I'll be unpacking different examples of it. And when you see yourself in these scenarios, it's going to be real upsetting. It's going to be very upsetting. But if you are willing to embrace the truth and you are willing to take an assessment of yourself and you are willing to respect the God-given authority of your man. I'm not saying that he's better than you. I'm not saying that he's smarter than you. I'm not saying that he is supposed to lord over you. I'm not saying that at all. The only thing that I'm saying, he has a God-given authority, and can you respect it? Even when he's wrong. Even when you know the answers and you're trying to give him the answers and he's not listening to you. Will you respect his God-given authority? There are a lot of layers here, ladies. And what I will share with you, the preview is this. In mastering femininity, not feminism, mastering your God-given femininity. He has a God-given authority as a man. You have a God-given femininity. If you get laser focused on mastering your femininity, you will see your man. You will see your man show up for you. Y'all check us out and support us at Law for Love ATL, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and we're even on Amazon. Support us, support the work that we do, help us to get this message out to more families. We are helping folks to reconcile, to heal. We're helping folks to have more harmonious relationships by breaking off thinking and mindsets that are contrary to the created order. Love you all.